Okay, this is Lab 6 question number 5. For some reason this microphone which I'm using in my office is giving me a lisp, so I hope it's not too disturbing to you. I will try to enunciate my S's carefully. This case we have a short-term notes receivable transaction, and actually we do have two of them. And in the first one, they have one that goes across the fiscal year end, so we actually have to record the accrued interest at the end of the year, and the other one doesn't go across the year end, so we just record the interest income when they pay the bill. So we're working in 2014, and we've got a couple of notes, one from Adam Upa. I have no idea, since I don't know Adam. I don't know him from any other Adam. I don't know how he pronounces his last name, but let's assume it's Upa. And so he exchanged a note for a time extension on his past due account, and of course it has an 11% rate of return, and so we need to record that on October the 1st. So here we go, 1/10, the 1st of October. We're going to set up a note receivable, not payable, and it's going to be for $9,900 because that's the face value of the note, and he'll actually pay the 11% interest when he pays it off, and he does that on February the 1st, as we can see here. And of course he's replacing his accounts receivable. His name is Adam Upa, and so we just record the note receivable and the reduction in the accounts receivable, and then it says to use the letter. So enter the transaction letter as the description when entering the transactions as in this journal. So there we go, A and B and C and T and E. There we go. All right. This transaction B is on the 31st of December. And we made an adjusting entry to record accrued interest on the Adam Upa note. So we have interest. We do have interest income, but Lyrics likes to split the debits first and the credits next. There we go. So the interest receivable is going to be $9,900 times the 0.11, 11% note, times we had it in October, so we had it October, November, and December. We had 3 months. 3 months, whoops, times 3 months out of 12, because the 11% is an annual rate. We are owed $272.25 of interest. Alright, so at the end of the year we have interest income in the proper period, and the interest receivable is recorded as an asset at that time. Then on the 1st of January 1/1, Jack Tasker does the same thing. So basically the same entry is up here, except the accounts receivable is going to be Jack's, not Adam's. And the amount of the transaction, turns out to be the same. Interest rates have gone down a bit since then. So $9,900 is the new amount, but it's a 10% note. And I would normally put the 10% in the description, but since Lyrics is asking for something else, let's give Lyrics what it wants. The 1st of February. On the 1st of February, Adam pays his note. So his note receivable is going to go down, and we're going to get some cash. And we need a couple more spaces because we need to record the fact that we have this interest receivable, which is also going to go down. Whoops, I think I'll move this note receivable down here. No, we're still good. And then we have a little bit more of interest income, which we haven't recorded in the first journal entry the second journal entry on the 31st of December. So the interest receivable is going to go down, so we can grab that one. Whoops, let's see if I can grab it. There we go, interest receivable. We're going to pay that. The note receivable has to go away, so we're going to pay that. And then we have some interest income, and since it's calculated the same way, let me just put that in here. So the interest income is for the portion of interest earned in the year 2015, and so that's the last 1 month of the 4-month note. So $90.75. And then the amount of cash we get is the sum of all of those. So 9,900. Of course, remember, shift up arrow will get that out of your way so you can actually see what's going on. And then we add 90.75, and then we add 72.25, and the total amount of cash we get from Adam is 10,263. Then E, the description says, determine the date that the transaction C matures and record the entry to show the collection. So it's a 6-month note entered into on January the 1st. So 6 months from then is June the 30th, but they like to pay them on the 1st of the month apparently, so let's make that July the 1st. On July the 1st. On Canada Day, we get a payment. It's probably a holiday, so that, of course, in the real world would cause problems, but in our lyrics world, not quite as big a deal. Well, we're going to pay the notes receivable, but because there's no intervening fiscal year end, we don't actually have any interest receivable to worry about, so just the interest income. If I can pick it up, there we go. Now it's happy. The note receivable is going to be this note receivable, so it's going to go away. The interest income is going to be based on the 9,900, so let's put it down here. And then we need to multiply by the interest rate, which is 0.1 in this case. And of course they've had it for 6 months, so 6 out of 12, 495, and then of course the cash is going to be the total of the two. So once again, shift up arrow gets us out of our own way, which is good. 495 with 6, that would be really disastrous. All right, so that's all there is to it. So key things: the interest receivable at the end of the year. You need to figure out how many months we've actually had the note outstanding, and record the amount of interest receivable at that point. And then, of course, the interest income is for 1 month during the 2015 year. And of course, 100% of this interest income is earned during the 2015 year. Let's see what Lyrics thought of all of that. Lyrics agrees, full marks, we're done.